So, as I begin my YouTube channel today, I want to share the embassy process. You have gone through all this journey, you have passed your NCLEX, your case complete, and that long-awaited day has come where you have gotten a mail from NVC on your email, and now you're ready. You have an embassy date when you're supposed to go to the embassy. So, at that point, what happens is that there's something called medicals that you're supposed to book for, and what is happening in the medicals is you are going to International Organization for Migration. It's called famously as IOM. You are going there for them to look at your vaccination. Mostly it's about vaccination history. There's some vaccine you're supposed to have gotten before you can get yourself to the US, for you as a USRN and also for your family. So you're going to them, you will have gotten these vaccines earlier. Whatever you will not have gotten, most of the time you pay something and they give it to you at the medicals. So in the medicals, what they are doing is, besides checking your vaccines history to make sure you're fit to come here, they're also doing a TB screen, which is done as a chest x-ray for all adults. Children do a different test. For the children, it's a blood test to check if they have TB. So for adults, you just undergo a chest x-ray, and from the chest x-ray, they'll clear you and send your information to the embassy. Now, once you have been cleared by your IOM, the next thing is you go to the embassy. So sometimes IOM they tell you, in case we find any abnormalities in your results, we are going to call you. But if we do not call you, just know your results are clean. Just keep move to the embassy. So at this point, you go to the embassy. Now you're medically cleared, so you're not worried about medicals at this point because you're cleared. So you're looking into your documents. Do you have an offer letter from the job where you're going to work in? Do you have a license from Kenya and a certificate from Nursing Council? There's that yellow form from Nursing Council for Kenyans that you're required to have. If you're married, do you have a marriage certificate? Do you have birth certificates for all your dependents, passports for all your dependents? You're looking into having all those details. Sometimes I feel like before you even go to the counter, because once you get to the embassy, you are queued in, you go to the counter the first time, give up all the documents, they counter check. Do you have all these documents? They check all through that. And then there's also the visa screen that is sent to you by your agency. So they check through all that, then you go out, then you come back in again, and at this point they're just asking some basic questions like, where have you been working? Do you have a criminal history? Where are you going to in the US? How much are you going to be earning? Who are your family members? If you're your children, they'll ask you, are these the only children you have, or you have other children? So yeah, generally those are some of the questions they ask. If you have spouse, they will ask the spouse about their how long you guys have been married, if they have any criminal history. Mostly they do not ask any questions to the children. But if a child is above 16 years, they also need to have a police clearance. Anybody above 16 years should have a police clearance. Yeah, and for spouses or for people who have worked outside Kenya, you need to have police clearance from all the states that you lived for more than 6 months. Because again, if you go to the embassy, they do a lot of investigation. They realize you lived in a country and you do not have a clearance certificate for that country. Most of the time they put you on something we call administrative processing for you to so that you put your documents in order, then they can review your case again and see whether you're going to get the visa. So at this point, you have done all, you have everything, you have been asked the question. Before you leave the counter, there are two things that happen. You can get a green form or a yellow form. A green form means you have gotten the visa. A yellow form means there's something that you need to like resubmit, or something that you need to confirm before you can go on with the journey. And now for this part, I want to share my personal experience. I went I got my visa appointment when I was around, I think, 27 weeks pregnant. So by the time I was going for my embassy, I was 31 weeks, my medicals, I was 31 weeks pregnant. My embassy, I was 32 weeks pregnant. One thing I need to tell nurses is that the embassy does not discriminate on your pregnancy. They're actually happy for you. They'll keep saying, congratulations, we're happy for you. What kind of baby are you expecting? Yeah, so they do not discriminate or say they will not give you a visa because you're pregnant. I was worried at first because we were a couple of us who were pregnant from my agency, and somebody has told us once you go to the embassy when you're pregnant, they will ask you whether they will tell you, do you want a visa or do you want us to put you on AP, administrative processing? You deliver first. They do not ask you that. If you have qualified for the visa, they give you your visa. Whatever you do with your visa is your business. So there are people, many people who decided to just get their visa, go home, give birth to their babies, then come back to the embassy again for the baby to be processed, to go through medicals, then process, then join them. There are people like me who tend to take the opportunities. I got the visa when I was 32 weeks pregnant. So I took like some 2 weeks to organize myself, left Kenya when I was 35 weeks, 5 days, got to US at 36 weeks. Yeah, so generally this whole journey has no discrimination on pregnancy, because people are like, how do I do that? It is manageable. There's nobody will ask you questions. For traveling, only when you have to travel, you have to call your airline and ask them, tell them, I am this week's pregnant, it's a single fetus, what do I need? Most of them will need you to carry a letter from your doctor showing how many weeks you are, showing you have you are not a high risk pregnancy and you're fit to fly. That's all. Yeah, so people should just be encouraged. If you get pregnant where you're on this journey, stop wailing and whimpering, oh, now this baby has come to hinder me from going. No, the baby is a blessing. Just move. Nobody will stop you because you have a baby. Just be prepared, have your documents all ready for the journey. So my next topic will also again be talking about moving here, what to expect. And again, I'm doing a disclaimer that I did not get to the US and start working immediately. As I said earlier, that I traveled while pregnant, so I did not start working immediately. So I had to get here, give birth first, then get recovered, then before I started working, so that people do not think, oh, you traveled at that 6 weeks and started working. No, I did not start working immediately. I had to go get hosted by a relative, give birth, feel fit to work. Then now I traveled again to the state where I was supposed to come and start working. So I needed to put that disclaimer so that when I start talking about the work environment, people are like, huh? How are you able to crack it in the US or that 6 weeks pregnant? No. So I needed to clarify that. So my next topic that I'm going to talk about will be about work environment. What do you expect when you get here? Is it the same hospitals as they are in Kenya, or what's the difference? Yeah, and before I go to all that, again, I'm reminding you, I'm your favorite nurse here. Kindly like, share, and subscribe so that we get to grow together and flourish on this journey. Thank you, nurses. I know you are supporting this. I know you are sharing. I know you are liking. Let's keep this going on.